Our project is called Platform in the Maak. It's a platform founded in 2019 as a way to create space for the organization, presentation development, and other needs of starting makers in the performing arts. We are based in the city of Leuven in Belgium, but we are active and we collaborate with makers and partners all throughout Flanders and Brussels. Since 2019, we have organized 5 festivals or presentation days, and more recently, in September 2023, we started an 18-month development trajectory for 18 starting makers. Our platform is horizontally run, meaning that every maker who presents their work or takes part in the project is also responsible for the organization. And by doing so, the makers learn new skills necessary for their self-sustainability afterwards.
So the platform was constructed out of a feeling of loneliness as starting and often young makers in the cultural field. It's something that we recognize, and there was a big need to connect to other makers. So this connection is not necessarily on an artistic level, but it comes from the idea of sharing knowledge, sharing space to work, maybe questions and doubts, or financial means and resources. So by coming together, we started to reflect on ways of organizing ourselves as a group in this field. And soon we evolved into a horizontal structure or horizontal organization, where our goal is to work with each other on an equal level and be transparent in communication. And another very important point is that we encourage young artists to share work in progress and not only finished work, so with the audience and with their peers. We don't only want to focus on the result, but we see the process as important for the development of artists.
We observed at least 3 positive impacts. The first is starting makers don't want to wait. And Platform in the Maak created a space, a place, a meeting point where there is a kind of autonomy for emerging artists to be artistically and organizationally active. The second point is this autonomy is shared in a collectiveness. We create space where people can share, discuss, and help each other with skills in order to grow together. And the third positive change is that we are a listening organization. We learned that starting an organization is not only about having an idea, having a vision, but it's mostly about listening. This made our organization a very flexible and ever-growing place.
The first challenge that we definitely face is the challenge of sustainability or financial sustainability, because we are a grassroots organization. So we started actually doing everything as on a voluntarily basis. So we didn't have money to pay ourselves. So obviously we want to provide financial stability to sustain the projects that we want to develop. The second one, which is a challenge, but which is also the aim of our organization and something we believe in, but we always start over with a new group of makers. Because we want to be a platform for the people who need us the most, so the people who don't have a network yet, which also means that all the knowledge that we build up throughout years, we always have to repeat it and hand it over to a new generation. The third challenge is the challenge of diversity. So we work with dancers, we work with theater makers, with people who combine disciplines, people of different backgrounds, other ways of diversity that we definitely want to embrace more and more.
Our platform is very attractive to other partners because we act like an intermediate or a bridge between the starting makers and the houses, theaters, institutions, companies. And to them, we're kind of like a pool, a talent pool of starting makers, like the new talent, who they most of the time are not always able or do not want to fully support themselves because of different reasons. It could be because of they don't have enough time, or they don't have the space, or nor the financial needs. The maker is maybe not yet artistically ready to take that big step, or also because there is sometimes a big gap between the starting makers and the institutions and the theaters. And it can be sometimes big, which makes it hard for the starting makers to get in contact with them. And by engaging and collaborating with us, with the platform, they are also letting themselves in with a diverse and young and innovative organization whose growing reputation as a stable and hardworking, but most importantly, bottom-up and horizontal organization also reflects well on their own organization.